Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. You know what? Where's Hawk at? Listener discretion advised. Pansy.
Welcome to the Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. I am Electro, here with my brother from another mother, Bono, of course.
It's from the bone.
What's good? What's going down?
Come on.
Just drinking water, man.
Yeah, you're like a dickweed. Producer Ozzy over there on the keys, as always.
Yo.
This week we were going to be talking about the Conjuring movies. The new Conjuring movie came out in the movie theater last weekend. And we watched it, and we're going to talk just about like the Conjuring in general, the whole series. But first, we got a little bit of news.
What do you got
really
for us, dude?
quick.
What's up? What do you got?
Well, number one, Indiana Jones 5 is officially in production. The movie is happening. It was announced, I don't know how many months ago, that Spielberg was not returning to direct.
What?
Yeah. He dropped out of it a while back.
Producer, nothing?
I'm sure he's producing it.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure about it, but there's no way in hell he isn't making money for this movie.
For sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Him and George Lucas, who George Lucas probably at this point has probably nothing to do with him, but it's still, I believe he came up with the character. So he makes money no matter what.
What's up with the cast? Do we know the cast for that bad boy yet?
Nah, I mean, other than Harrison Ford, I haven't really looked into it too much, but I do know that James Mangold is directing, and he's a pretty good director. He directed the Logan movie and Walk the Line. He's directed some good Copland, Bono's favorite Copland.
Oh my god.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, Ford versus Ferrari.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was his last one.
That's a good one.
So I think he's a good director.
Got nominated for Best Picture for that. So
There you go. I think he's a good director, and I mean, good as any to direct the next Indiana Jones movie.
To direct Harrison.
Ford and Ferrari was exciting. Had hella exciting moments.
yeah, it was.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Great movie. And Logan, I know you guys haven't watched it, but that's a fucking terrific movie.
You just showed me the Cholo scene. That was about it.
Mm-hmm. That's the important scene. Wolverine goes out there and cleans up the streets. Enough of these cholos.
Yeah. I'm going to go to East LA. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take care of this fucking issue right now. And then the other thing we got here is we got a new Jurassic World Dominion poster that came out today. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Googled it. Put it. You have something in front of you.
it.
Come on. It's a mosquito taking blood from a dinosaur, and it says something like about.
Okay, you just basically showed me the poster. What the fuck?
Well, I'm gonna wait till your fucking dainty hands fucking type that shit in. Come on, man, you're taking forever.
Hold on, dude. Okay, so what else? Why? Okay, so this just came out today.
It came out today, and it also with the announcement that the new Jurassic World movie, they're going to be showing, I don't know if it's the opening scene or a scene from the movie is going to come out right before the new Fast and the Furious movie in IMAX.
Absolutely.
Much like, remember The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan showed the opening scene of those movies in IMAX in front of other movies that were IMAX. So that's...
You don't want to see a 3-story tall Toretto, bro? What's wrong with you?
Come on, man. Dude, I need to watch Hobbs and Shaw before I go. I'm sure they're connected, right? You saw that one.
No, I didn't.
Ooh, that's pretty good. It all started here.
It was all a dream.
No, it wasn't. That shit is real.
Wow.
Jurassic World is for real.
What's it called?
It's called Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion?
Right?
Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
Yes, sir.
The fuck does Dominion even mean? I know I've heard that word before.
I don't know.
What?
As far as I
check it
knew,
out.
I thought it was like demonic.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's check it out.
Dominion Company, no, man.
But spoilers for the Jurassic World series. The last movie ended where dinosaurs were like set loose upon society.
San Francisco, it started.
So this movie is supposed to be like just a new civilization with dinosaurs.
You remember
in it,
the preview for that one, right? Where it showed like the big fucking was the water one called? What is that one?
The Megalodon, of course.
No, not the Megalodon. Well, the Jurassic.
Oh,
version.
wait. What was it called? The Mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus. That shit where it was going into like a beach and shit. Remember that? It showed that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then we never saw that. So maybe they were
No,
teasing
we
it.
did. It was at the very end. That was what the movie was kind of. Yeah, the trailers.
I'm with Bono on this one because dominion means ruling or controlling power. The fact that humans or mammals rule the earth right now, I think this movie's going to be about that. You know, that
Dude,
the birth of mammalias.
If they go red band, go hard on an R Jurassic World, I am fucking in.
None of them have been R, right?
I don't think so. But I mean, there's death and shit. It's
it's pretty gory. Yeah,
They're as violent as PG-13 movies can get.
They're getting better.
I don't know. The first one, the very first one,
Yeah.
is pretty violent.
Yeah, it is.
You see a dude hanging out of a dinosaur's mouth. It's
Right.
just fucking screaming.
Chomp.
and
You get a
shit.
good, nice
the
little
goat.
crunch.
I see the goat leg.
The goat is fine, but that's
But you know what happened?
It's fine.
well, that's animal. That's nature, right? They're like,
It was still graphic.
Oh, yeah, a dinosaur eating a human being would also be nature.
okay, but no one's seen that, so I'm sure. Yeah, goat getting eaten isn't too crazy. You know?
Jurassic Park's available for free on Peacock right now, so Peacock TV if you want to see it.
Good.
I don't know why it's just there.
All right, perfect. There you
That's
go,
awesome.
guys. There you
great.
go, guys.
But no, there has never been a rated R Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That's a little news for you. And
Exciting stuff. So we're gonna go watch the Fast and Furious and then watch that preview.
we're
Too
not.
fast for y'all.
You're in, right, Oz? You're gonna go watch.
Yeah,
that.
I'm down.
Hell yeah,
We have
he
to
is.
go to fucking.
Where's an IMAX?
We have
San
to, we have to
Ho.
go all the way to San Jose
okay.
for an IMAX.
That's okay.
And I'm gonna
go.
watch a movie I don't want to watch. I'd rather go see something cool in IMAX.
Is it open tomorrow?
No.
Going to San Jose tomorrow, get my shots. Save money on merch.
There we go.
Gonna get a shot in the mouth.
Hey, man, I don't care. Whatever gives me that little coupon.
Take it easy.
Here's my little
easy.
card. Let me do what I want, eh?
This is a
Discount to
family
discount,
show.
baby.
This is a family
Here's
show,
my
guys.
fucking Lilu Corbin fucking
Let's
fast
clean it
pass,
up.
bitch.
Multi-pass.
Let's
Oh,
clean
damn it.
up.
I called it a fast pass.
God damn it. This isn't fucking Disneyland, dude.
Well, they own whoever made Fifth Element is now owned by Disney, so I
That's
was
true.
combining the two.
I believe so. I think that
Okay.
is a Fox. movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Some foxy
Good
chicks.
save, Oz. Good
Yeah.
save on that one.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Thank you.
Anyways, so we'll go into the box office really quick from last weekend, the weekend of June 4th. And number one in the box office is the movie we're talking about today, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Get out.
Damn.
Ooh.
What do you think about that name, though?
I don't like the name.
I wasn't about it either.
No. It makes it seem like a spin-off or like a lesser quality or like a sub. I don't know. Yeah, like the name already made me cautious from.
I wasn't 100%, but I think that was like the headline for the Amityville horror thing. That's what he said. Like that was a statement. Oh, the devil made me do it.
No, it's from that guy and that trial and shit.
What trial?
Yeah, but the
From the
Amityville is all,
movie.
it's all connected with
From the
Amityville. That's
movie.
all the same story.
No. But from the
But yeah, the dude does say that at trial
Does
in
he?
real life. Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
that was his defense.
The devil made me do it. All that they named it that because that's like the famous, the famous.
It was like one of
saying
the
from
first
trial.
times someone tried to plead insanity.
No, they tried to plead not guilty due to possession.
I looked this
But
up. I
we'll
was like,
get
this
to
better
that.
not be
But
real.
we'll fucking get to
Okay. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the name. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so that was number one in the box office. Number one, and it made 24 mil. And number two was A Quiet Place Part 2, and that racked in 19 mil. Number three, Cruella, racked up 11 mil.
Absolutely.
So Quiet Place 2 is up to 88 mil, and Cruella is up to 43 mil.
Ooh.
And then Spirit Untamed.
Oh, the new horse movie?
Yeah.
Horse?
Horses?
I think it's an animated movie
film, yeah.
from Universal Pictures. That made $6 million.
Wow.
Number 5 is Raya and the Last Dragon, brought in $1 million. and it's up to 53 million and a half.
That's 2 weeks in a row that Raya shows up.
So that rounds up the top 5 right there for the box office. And The Conjuring has always been like a pretty successful at the box office. Every movie in the series, this is the lowest opening weekend for all 3. But of course, we are still not to 100% capacity in movie theaters. People are still scared to go to the movies.
Yo,
so
we are 6 days away from 100% capacity. I've been getting emails from like minor league baseball teams, and they're like, "We're opening up,
hey, bro,
fireworks every day, bro."
My company just did a softball team, and we're all out there. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real out there.
Next week, man. Next week, we made it. Everybody. Oh, I shouldn't. Knock on wood. We almost made it.
That's not wood. That's not real wood.
No, fuck.
Let me get a boner real quick.
Hey,
bring it over. We gotta knock on that shit.
Are you ready? You ready?
Hard knocks.
Yeah, we're getting.
So the budget for the first Conjuring movie was actually 20 million. Worldwide, it grossed 320 mil. So very fucking successful. As we'll talk about maybe a little bit later, this movie brought up its own universe. Like there is, how many of these movies is there?
There's at least 3 just about
3,
Annabelle,
1,
man.
2, 3, 4, 5,
7.
6, 7, 8. There's 9.
9 of them.
Yeah, the fucking
This movie came out in 2013.
yeah.
It's like one a year.
And you gotta give it up to fucking the director James Wan on this one, because he did the Saw movie.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, we talked about that in one of our last episodes, so I don't know if it'll even be out by the time this one's out. But we went through the Saw series a little bit. Well, the Saw series just crossed over $1 billion, and it's all because of that guy. That guy made that movie, and
Follow your heart.
so
It's interesting that I had no idea that guy made that movie, because Conjuring, I loved it and all that, but that scariness is not scary at all to me, dude. That shit does not
you did
get
not
a
find the Conjuring
It says,
scary.
fuck no, that shit does not get a rise out of me. But then again, a movie like Saw, which again I only saw Spiral of that, to me that's scary.
Watch
Like-
the first Saw, dude. It'll fuck you up.
Because that's real, you know. And again, I don't want to get into it too crazy, like, but I'm
we're
not
gonna
very
get into it.
I'm not very religious, you know. So I'm just like, this isn't scary. But Saw, it's interesting that it was the same guy, because I loved it. I fucking loved the hell out of the movie.
It's
But I
a
had no idea it was the
super
same
well-made
dude.
movie.
Anyway,
Yeah, but it's just, I just wanted to bring up that point that this guy has
it's great.
created not only this, but also the Insidious franchise. Like, this guy has made a shitload of money and he didn't even direct all of them. He kind of directed the first movies in the series, and then they went on to just fucking make a shitload of money. At this point, billions. Of
Yeah.
dollars.
I'm sure he did the same with Saw, right? Or are you talking about Saw? Or are you talking about
Yeah, Saw is
Uh-huh.
the main one. That's made of all that series has made $1 billion.
Right.
I don't know how much the Conjuring series has made, but I mean the first one made 300 million.
That's a lot,
So
I'm
like,
sure part 2, even though, I mean, it was okay.
here we go.
It was. I'm just saying, but I'm sure it made a
The
good
Conjuring series has made 1.9 billion.
amount. Absolutely.
Damn.
Absolutely.
It's the second highest grossing horror franchise.
check this
in
out.
history.
What's the first?
Let the Wikipedia thing load.
Well,
Number
look-
1, Godzilla.
What?
Of course.
Those are horror?
I guess I don't know why they have Godzilla. Godzilla,
monster
Conjuring,
movie,
and then
technically.
3 is something called Monsterverse,
Monsterverse. Oh, probably
which is
like
Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh,
Damn, dude, Godzilla is on top 3. 2 of the top 3 are Godzilla.
that's crazy. Get it together, world.
5 is King Kong. 4 is the Mummy.
There we go.
Now we're talking.
Couple hitters up there.
Absolutely.
11 is Scary Movie. So I don't know who did this list, but that's a weird list.
And it's in the top. They just did some research of like the scariest movies. The Conjuring, I think, is number 3.
Fuck. Really?
I think
Yeah.
people got a little more freaked out from Insidious due to the score. And I don't know if it came out the same year or
This one
roughly
has
around
a
the same
creepy
time.
score too.
It's pretty fucked up, but it's not that string orchestra style fucking plucking violin type shit
like
and
Psycho
cello,
and
dude.
shit, yeah.
It's pretty excessive. But the crazy part is that this chick, both of them, are they both in these two movies?
Who?
Vera and Patrick in The Conjuring and Insidious.
No, in Insidious it's a different.
Different cast?
It's Rose something. The English chick from
Rose Byrne?
Yeah, she's the one. She's in the Insidious movie.
Okay, but the dude, he's not.
Yeah, the guy is.
He's part of
Patrick Wilson is
Okay.
the male lead in the Insidious movies.
Okay. Homeboy's crushing it.
Yeah,
In the fucking scary game.
I can't find the list. I was trying to look for that list of because they did like a scientific fucking thing where they like set people up to like heart monitors and shit. And they made them watch a bunch of different scary movies. And so scientifically, they like figured out which are the scariest movies. And there's like a top 10 list. And I believe the first number one was Sinister. The fucking Ethan Hawke. Wait for that Hawk
There he
talk.
is, man. Just comes at you when you least expect it, dude.
And then number 2 is Insidious. And I believe number 3 is The Conjuring.
That makes sense.
And it's pretty crazy that 2 out of 3 the movies on the top 10 scariest thing, number 2 and 3 are this guy directed them. So
Yeah, that guy's good.
When we were watching Saw the other day, I was actually seeing like, because that movie's so low budget and compared to everything else he's done, looks like a shitty movie, right? But you see like scenes where it's just like, oh, okay, like he's gonna perfect that shit in The Conjuring. Because there's that scene in Saw where the guy's hiding in the closet. That's a scary scene. The little girl's just like, there's somebody in my closet. And then they're like, dude, there's nobody in your closet. And then they hear her scream and they go into the room and it's the guy's under the blanket. And he just turns like, ah!
And like rushes for her.
That's such a scary
Absolutely.
scene.
That gave me chills right now. That's a good one.
And that, like, you can see it's just like,
Wait, you haven't seen Saw 1, Oz?
No.
Oh, bro, watch that. Just find where you can watch it and watch it. I think you'll.
It's on HBO Max. All the Saw movies are on HBO Max.
Fantastic. You'll enjoy that one since you're more into like realism and shit. You'll enjoy the fuck out of that.
Yeah. But yeah, you could see there's glimpses of this guy's genius in Saw.
That's
not saying that Saw isn't a genius movie, because it is.
I forgot about that scene until you just mentioned it right now. I need to rewatch Saw 1.
Absolutely, you do. But yeah.
But yeah, he had a limited budget, and that was his first big one.
It was like $1 million.
Wow.
And as we talked about in the other episode, it grossed over $100 million.
Savage.
So yeah. But anyway, let's get into this Conjuring fucking business. It all started back in the foul year of our Lord 2013, man. This movie has a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes score of 86%, and an audience score of 83%. As we said, movie is directed by James Wan and was written by Chad and Carrie Hayes. It stars Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren, Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren, Lily Taylor as Caroline Perrin, and Ron Livingston as Roger Perrin.
Yeah, baby.
This movie takes place in the 70s, so fucking... It's just like it's also a pretty decent like period piece, you know. It does seem like like it was made, at least parts of it seem like it was made like in the 70s or something.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Ron Livingston, 30 years after the war, looking good.
And I mean, the plot of this movie is just like a family moves into this farmhouse and shit goes down.
Yeah. Do they show in the movie? Do they tell them that like, hey, this is cheap because of the murders? They know, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I actually in
real life they do.
When I was doing some research on the trivia here, it says, I don't know, forget where the story takes place, but in that in that city or that state is legally do not have to disclose any crimes or anything that happened.
Yeah, plus that got passed way later, like where realtors have to say, hey, these people died here. And even to this day, it's only 3 years. So if 3 years pass, you don't have to say shit.
Yeah. And I mean, we're gonna get into like, I don't know if you
Like,
guys
why
did
that matters.
any research on the Warrens themselves.
I did.
I didn't.
Because that's where, because like I said, to me, it wasn't scary because I like the whole not believing it. I was like, let me do some research. And if the research is like, these guys were on their shit, I'd be like, oh my God.
No, if you do
Is my door slammed?
if you do research, you basically it seems like they were frauds.
Yeah, they're quacks. Even in the movie, the whole movie tried its best to be like, they're trying their scientific best. And it's like,
Yeah.
these guys are literally ghost hunters that Discovery Channel show.
Yeah,
and that's
they
it.
were the original.
Great
They were the
show.
original ones.
Great show.
They were like the original ones.
Zach is great.
Shut your mouth. But yeah, they were like the ones that made that popular.
Yeah, they invented that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about invented it, but yeah, definitely made it popular.
Yeah, they're
They're
like
demonologists. That's so stupid. That's so unreal. I'm a podcastologist, fool.
You
I've been
can
doing this
be.
for
Technically,
Yeah, if you just call yourself
that's a
that,
good title.
they'll make a Wikipedia page for it, and it's real.
Well, blame the Catholics for that. They're the ones that fucking created demonology. Because they got this whole list of demons and all these things. So,
Right.
somebody's got to teach.
My whole
about
time, I'm like, what if you would have asked a Hindu priest or whatever? What would he have said? Yeah, your shit's fucking. Let me call the Vatican on this one. Like, anyway, I don't want to derail your shit. But
Yeah.
it was good. This movie's great. I fucking love it.
Movie itself is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you look up the Warrens themselves, they're kind of, you look into it, they were frauds. But what makes this particular movie a little creepier is the amount of deaths that actually happened at that house. Like, that shit was real.
Yeah, dude.
And that lady was real, but not a little bit exaggerated. The way she died is different in real life than in the movie. But she was on trial for like killing her fucking like 7-year-old child or something.
No, it was the son. It was an Italian family. It was an Italian family that had 5 daughters, a son, and the parents. The son, well, allegedly, this is crazy. It gets controversial. Basically, somebody goes into the house, kills the whole family, everybody in their sleep with shots to the head. Everybody's in their bed. The only survivor is the son.
Are you're saying Amityville?
Yeah, well, this is what this is.
That's part 2.
That's part 2.
God, oh, wait, never mind. Fuck, God damn it. I've been reading so much shit since the morning.
Intro scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Good job, Oz.
That is
a
how
good
it
intro
starts.
scene.
Yeah.
That's part 2. Good
Anyway,
job.
yes, I retract my. Yeah.
No, that's part 2. That's how.
Okay, that's
That's a good
the
scene, though.
other one. No, this is yes.
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
It's okay.
And that, well, speaking of Amityville, that is what made the Warrens like famous.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
like to the world. We'll get to that when we get to part 2 and stuff. But yeah, the witch in this movie, spoilers, is a witch. Yeah, so she was a real woman.
Sheba.
Yeah.
Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Wait, like historically?
Yeah.
That's the one I did. Oh, she was cool.
That's what I'm saying. This one is scarier than the other ones and also like the whole Warren shit, like whatever about them. But the history of that land is actually pretty scary.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. What's her name? Bathsheba Sherman, related to the Salem witch, was caught sacrificing a 7-day-old baby.
Well, no, that's what they say in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that definitely paints a fucking picture.
That's what's scary about. That's when the movie starts getting scarier to me.
Right.
When they start saying shit like that, I'm like, huh? But anyway, this movie starts and introduces you to the Annabelle doll, who in real life was a Raggedy Ann doll, but the doll that James Wan created, because he actually would make puppets and shit, and he famously made the Saw puppet, Billy. He created this creepy-ass looking Annabelle doll. But that's like a fucking pretty scary opening scene right there, though, when they kind of give you the Annabelle tale about these dumb broads that just, you can let the demon in the doll. It's all good.
Yeah, when they tell him, like, there's a demon, and they're like, oh, that's cool. We're going to fix this demon.
Yeah.
What? Okay, you fucking college kids are going to fix a demon.
Here's some crayons. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Relax.
But one thing, like,
Well, they tried.
what's really, like, what gets me in that opening scene is, like, when they're sleeping and they hear the loud-ass knocks.
Yeah.
That is, like, one of my worst fears. Like, you know, sometimes you hear noises at night, but if you heard such a, like, aggressive knock in the middle of the night at your house, I'd be like, oh my God, that'd be terrifying.
And that's not the trees banging against the side.
Yeah, there's no
Especially after you just let a fucking spirit live in a doll.
Yeah, you already have that.
Yeah. The fucking Warrens, you know, they take care of that shit. And then also the thing that makes it scary, so they do that, and then there's a little crawl in the opening scene. You wanna read the crawl?
I do like the fact they add that to it. So after
It makes it scarier.
right, it gives it that basically lays out the whole fucking plot for your ass. But since the 1960s, Ed and Lorraine Warren have been known as the world's most renowned paranormal investigators. Lorraine is a gifted clairvoyant, while Ed is the only non-ordained demonologist, recognized by the Catholic Church. Out of the thousands of cases throughout their controversial careers, controversial is key too, right? Because that's what we're saying, that, you know, the phoniness and the bullshit.
That's like the only thing that they mention it.
Well, and yeah, that's why they're straight up trying to portray them like, this isn't the full truth. Like, yeah, they could be. We're not saying that this is, but this is what happened.
But at least they're telling you, right?
Yeah.
It's not all
I love it.
Super briefly, but
Yeah.
okay.
There was one case so malevolent that they kept it locked away until now. And then they hit you with the hitter of all hitters, based on a true story.
On the true story, not a true story.
Okay, the true story.
It makes it more official, dude. Because
We got the transcripts for this.
like that will convince, I'm sure, like 60% of the people that are watching it that it absolutely happened that way. You know, I remember when I first started working at this store, I was pretty young. I don't know, 18 or something. And one of my coworkers, we were talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he was just like, dude, you know that shit really happened, right? And I was like, no, it didn't. Like, that's actually based, like, inspired by Ed Gein and shit. And he was like, no, dude, it says right in the beginning that it's a real story. And I was just like, it's a fucking movie. Like, that's how they get you. And and that one is even, this is how you know for sure it's bullshit. It says inspired by true events. It's like, dude, everything is inspired by true events.
Yeah, no one's that creative. You know what I'm saying?
So that's how you get the bullshit right out of the ways. When it says inspired by a true story, you got to be like, okay, like maybe 1% of this is true.
You know,
They're being upfront about it too. Like, this inspired us.
I forget what fucking movie, but it was the best fucking tag thing to it. It was like based on the untold true story. It's like, goddamn, that is awesome. How do you get away with some stupid shit like that?
AKA, we just made this shit up.
That's essentially what they say right there. They've kept it locked away until now.
Right.
Based on the true story. They just fucking said it fancier, which makes it more official. It makes you think it's true.
And then they show their basement of creepiness of like just where he says, "Oh, we just
Their museum
yeah
that you could actually visit.
yeah and pay like $3 to see." They don't imply that at all.
That's true.
That still would be cool. I would pay the money.
We're going, right? We're going to see that.
What?
It's
I'm
closed.
not going to no fucking.
Well, they're dead now. They closed it in 2013.
Oh, good.
How about so the dude, the guy that from the part 2 that killed his whole family and all that died a month ago.
Okay.
He died this fucking year, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was in prison, of course.
DeFeo, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
The DeFeo dude, right?
Yeah.
Ronnie DeFeo?
Yeah, that's what it was. The Italian name.
William Defoe.
Ronnie DeFeo. That was actually...
It's like a Goodfellas connection and everything.
The Warrens, became hella famous because of that Amityville shit. And then I remember, I don't know, when I was like 15, 16 or whatever, I watched this documentary, and it actually was about Ronnie DeFeo. and he basically confesses to making it all up.
Right.
And yeah, he killed his family, and he was just like, "This might get me out."
The Gigantes did it, eh?
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's just like that's how you know that these guys were more than likely frauds. They just saw the story and they were like, "All right, let's go make some fucking money,
Right.
Lorraine."
And you know what? Look, if she can see this dude murking her family, well, that's on her. You know what I mean? Whatever. Whatever she sells a quack story, that's up to her ass. And this dude willing to go on TV and sell the bullshit. But imagine you being able to watch that. That would be fucking nuts.
Watch what?
The fucking murder go down. If you're really a traveler and you could do all that type of shit.
That was a movie.
I'm just saying.
This was a movie.
I'm just
Bono.
saying, right? Some people say they can, or people will come out with some shit.
I don't
right?
think so.
I'm just saying.
Maybe.
That'd be really wild.
Maybe, but
You see Ryan Reynolds walking around just trying to
those fucking killer abs.
lethal.
Yeah. So the movie starts off with the Perrin family moving into this house. Right off the bat, shit's going down because the dog doesn't want to
The
go.
pup.
That's where I was in. I was like, is this Ron Livingston right here? Is that Ron Livingston? Like, all right, I'm in. I don't care how long this is.
Ron Livingston
I'm down.
in one of the most like mediocre nothing roles
Yeah.
I've ever seen in a movie. Like,
He's a very middle guy.
Yeah.
He didn't stand out for anything.
Homeboy is like, there's some crazy shit going on, and he's just kind of like slightly bothered. His expressions are never like, "Holy fuck!" He's just kind of like, "Whoa."
It's the 70s, dude. He was always stoned.
Mm-hmm.
Had a dope ass VW bus.
Fucking truck
Truck driver.
Yeah,
He
he was a
probably
truck
didn't get a lot of
driver.
sleep. He was half asleep during half of that shit.
Yeah, he gets home. His whole family's getting murdered. He's just like, what?
He even asked them flat out, "What is going on?
Jesus
Someone
fucking
tell me."
Christ. Trying to sleep.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Shut up in here. I'm trying to sleep.
I was in. The dog was not.
And then the dog, and it's also a fucking beautiful dog. I love that dog. It's like a really nice looking
It's a
dog.
pretty pup.
And it does not want to go in the house. It's like, fuck this.
Dog's dead.
And then that zombie song, Time of the Season, comes out, and you get like a really nice long shot that goes like from up above, that goes all the way down to the lawn and goes in through the house, and while the movers are moving in, and it goes all around the house. Nice little shot you get right there. You know that this director cares about this fucking movie. And then from there, like, the first main scene is the clap scene when they introduce the clapping game to because there's like, how many fucking kids did this guy was knocking this bitch up?
Bro, he was putting
A
in work.
lot, dude.
He's a trucker, bro. He needs to fucking put in work and hit the road. You feel me?
Yeah, so they introduced this clapping game that all these girls like to play, and they
Basically a Marco Polo with clapping.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's super dangerous because they
call it hide and clap.
blindfold themselves.
That
Dude,
shit's crazy.
you would run into, how many broken noses there would be in this family? There'd be a bunch of chicks with crooked noses, man.
And they did this on the second floor.
Right?
There's stairs.
Yeah, it's a big ass house.
It's a pretty dope house, straight up.
Yeah, and while they're playing this clapping game, they discover that it has a fucking secret evil cellar. So
Just a cellar, dude.
not good. Oh, okay, it was boarded up.
Well, there's a draft, you can't have too much wind coming from the bottom, right?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
alright.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so they discover this creepy ass giant cellar. There's like a lot. It's like another
Dope.
house down
Yeah.
there.
Dope as fuck, bro. You convert that? Oh, man.
There's so much space.
Yeah.
A house that only a witch could have fucking owned. Clearly a witch's
It's a
house.
witch cellar?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have a giant oven.
It's a giant fruit
Had a furnace.
pantry.
Oh, that's
He was trying to
true.
get the furnace
It was
going.
the pantry, dude. The fruit pantry.
Anyways, so the dog won't come in the house, and you know what? I think the witch got offended by that, and it fucking kills it up. Which is rule breaking of horror movies right there. They killed the fucking innocent fucking
Automatic.
dog,
No
man.
mercy. That's when you know this movie's already like, okay, they don't care.
Yeah.
Kill the fucking pup. right off the bat.
Technically, the pup's the only victim in this movie, right? Nobody else dies.
There's a bunch of birds that lose their life too. There's a lot of animal death.
If you're a pigeon fan, don't watch this movie. You like pigeons?
If you love pigeons.
Because like the crows, they made it in. They broke the window. The pigeons just snapped their necks and died viciously.
Delicate creatures. Weak necks. Yeah, and then after that, you get introduced into the Warren Museum, where Ed Warren's showing this guy around. Like, oh yeah, look, everything in here's fucking possessed or was used for something evil. And they show the Annabelle doll that they have it like in a fucking glass case and shit. I didn't look into it right now, but I remember reading about that years back, and there's this story. I don't know if it's true or not. Some guy that was there visiting or whatever, taking the tour. I don't know if he touched it or opened the case or he insulted it, being like, "This is bullshit." And like, I guess he died in a motorcycle accident, like leaving that place or something. So that they use that story to be like, fuck with things in here and like there are consequences and shit. I don't know if that's true or not, but
if you're the Warrens and you see that dude crash as he's leaving, you're just like, fuck yes.
You know what?
That's sad. Oh, fuck yes.
You know what happened? He fucked with it, and then Ed was just keep him entertained. He went out there and he fucked with the bike. This motherfucker, we're gonna. You know how many people are gonna come after this? This guy
it's
fucking
the 70s,
it.
Dude. Motorcycle technology isn't legit.
Just call me Annabelle, bro.
After that, they see them play. The mom is like home alone with like one of the younger daughters, and she wants to play the clap game.
Play the game.
And so that's like your first kind of pretty creepy moment right there.
I liked it.
Where the mom gets... There are other claps that are not from this little girl that are leading her. And they lead her into her bedroom or whatever. And then there's a closet.
Yeah, guiding her to Narnia, dude. Straight fucking... Yeah. You feel me? Little fucking... They hit you a little bit. I was like, okay, this is the way.
That clapper hit her right there. And then you see the hands come out, right? The hands come out. It's like a wardrobe thing or
that's
something.
What I'm saying.
The hands come out.
The Witch in the Wardrobe.
Absolutely.
Come on.
But yeah, that's like that's so like subtly creepy. You just see some random hands come out and clap.
They're all pale.
Yeah, and then she opened or like she's about to go, and then her daughter's behind her, like, dude, like.
Well, the thing too is she's approaching. Right, the doors are open because she's wearing the blindfold. The doors open, her hands come out, and as she gets closer, you hear the breathing. If you have a good sound system,
I was doing it with had headphones on. It was so good.
It
was so good. Yeah,
shit, man.
Yeah.
But then, man, that fucking scares you because you're over here listening to breathing. Shut up, little girl.
Yeah, and then you saw the hands come out, so you're just expecting her to get pulled in.
Yeah.
Something. But then that little girl,
she runs by.
Fucking cock tease to the witch. She's like, fuck. I almost fucking had her.
God damn it.
Fucking kid, you're fucking next.
I'm coming for you.
You're fucking next. And the next creepy scene is one of the little girls, when she's sleeping, she keeps telling her sister to stop, like, tickling her or pulling her sheet.
Yeah.
And then she keeps telling her to stop, and then she's just like, "What are you talking about? Like, I'm over here." And then
you literally see me here.
And then when she like, you see her physically get pulled and shit, and then it like pulls the sheet off or something. And she's like all freaking out, and then her sister's like, "What's wrong with you?" And then she's just like looking at the corner. And that's like genius too, because what makes that scary is that you don't see anything.
You don't see shit.
They don't show anything. She's just looking at a dark corner, and she's just like, "Oh my god!" Like that thing is right there.
Excellent acting. Excellent. She fucking crushed it.
Yeah, she's really good. And then like the sister goes up to it, and she's just like, "There's nothing here," and she's just like, "Dude, it's right behind. It's like right there, dude." Fucking terrifying. I got the chills right now just thinking about it.
Again, if you have a solid sound system, I was watching this movie with Lex the other day, and we had the subwoofer behind the seat. and he was sitting on it. And in that scene, it's bass heavy because the thud of the pool and the sheets. He's like, ah. My mom was walking by. She's like, what the fuck are you guys watching, you know? It's good shit. You see what's going on?
Okay, startle me, ma. Fuck. Yeah, and then it like closes the door or something, right? And then it causes like the parents to come in.
Right.
She's just like, fucking shit, man. After that, there's the third clap game, but it's like in the middle of the night, like the mom gets like woken up or something.
Right.
Or there's nobody there but her or some shit.
No. They're supposed to be asleep.
All
she
right.
hears it. She goes down. Basically, it's luring her down to the cellar. She even says it. She calls it out loud, like, hey, it's too late to be playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
And I think that's when she walks up to the clock and sees the clock at the 307 time. And, I mean, that alone, I was like, okay, here we go. Not good.
Tell me that. I mean, shit. Now I'm gonna be all scared at 3:07 every night.
Just 3 o'clock, you know?
You're always gotta be a little weary at 3.
Man, sometimes I wake up right at that fucking hour, dude. I'm just like, well, I gotta pee. You know what I mean?
I gotta pee, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Wait until 4.
When
I'm gonna set my alarm till 4, and then I'm gonna go pee.
I gotta pee, but I'm waiting. I'm not going to.
There we go.
That's really bad.
I have free will. Yeah, so she gets led down there, and she like she goes up to the light bulb, and it like blows up, and she falls down the stairs, and then she's using like fucking matches and shit, which makes that scene's really good too. It's super dark, scary, and she goes all the way to the top of the stairs, but it's like locked. She can't get out, so she's just like looking down into the darkness with this fucking match. And then you see the hands again pop up behind her and do another clap, and then the lights go out. It's just like, ah!
Good stuff.
Very hot, very cool. And then at the same time as that's happening, the girls they're fucking around with the wardrobe or something. They're doing something in the room with the wardrobe, and you see Bathsheba on top of the fucking wardrobe. Ooh. That's the scariest moment of the movie for me. When I watched that for the first time, when you see her, she's like crawling up there like Spider-Man or something. Yeah,
like a crawl
and they're like right there, the wardrobe, and then they just look up and she's just right there, dude. Oh, dude, the first time I saw that shit fucking made me almost shit myself, dude. Like,
I shot my pants.
Man.
That's a good one.
From there you get so then that's happening when she's in the cellar, and then Ron Livingston gets home, and he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" You know,
just did 26 hours across the country, and I come back to both
in record time, and I come home to this.
I come home, and literally everybody is
3:07. Go to sleep.
Everyone is screaming. Fuck.
You ever seen Smokey and the Bandit? My job's not easy.
And after that, you see the Warrens teaching like a demon class and shit. They break down fucking possession for us. The Perrin lady, played by Lily Taylor, she goes and finds the Warrens, and it's just like, yo, dog, you guys need to...
Hey, dog. Roll up, come through.
You guys need to fucking save my family, because we all fucked. And they're like, all right. One thing that I do like about what they show about them is that they do visit like another house, and they show logical explanations to what people would think is a haunted house and shit. When this bitch first goes to go visit them, they're just like, it's probably a rat, bitch. Get the fuck out of my face. But nah, fucking Lorraine Warren's is like, yeah, we'll go check it out. And then when they go check it out, they find out about the Bathsheba woman. Her name was Bathsheba Sherman, and according to the movie, her stats from the movie is that she was related to a witch from the Salem trials, and that her husband caught her sacrificing her 7-year-old baby, and then she proclaimed her like love for Satan, cursed anybody who would ever take her land, and then hung herself from a tree at 3:07, which is not true. She did not kill herself, and she like died
Weenie.
of she like died of like old age or
She
something.
wasn't down.
And then they're like, yeah, so after that, the land was divided into like different properties.
They just parceled the bitch out, right? So they're like, fuck
Yeah.
it, let's just let people move in here.
Yeah, and then so from that, there was a woman whose last name was Walker, and her son disappeared mysteriously, and then she killed herself in the cellar. And then, like, at another house, like in a creek or something nearby, a kid drowned. There was more suicides. And as they're, like, going through all this history, like, the tape of them interviewing her just turns on, and you hear a bunch of like creepy demon fucking voices and shit.
Right.
So, pretty good. I was watching that scene today, and I was like,
That's a good one, man.
And then from that, you get like just a bunch of that ghost hunting shit where they're using like microphones and a camera and crap, and
Right.
obviously a camera wouldn't record that well in 1971. But whatever, you let it go. And mom gets possessed, fucking they move everybody out of the house into a motel room. Ooh, fucking creepy ass scene.
I did like that scene, the laundry scene.
The laundry
That one
scene?
was good. So yeah, like, right, so the Warrens go over to kind of help and see what the fuck is going on.
Right.
They're setting things up. Basically, they're going to say, hey, well, we could kind of debunk the shit. We're going to need a little bit more than a day. So then, yeah, the family goes out for a day in town or whatever. The Warrens stay there, so they're doing laundry. And she's picking out a sheet, drying it, and the wind picks up, and it slips her hand, and it takes the body shape. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And it goes up to the window, straight directly to the window, and then you see her standing there. I was like, good job. That is a good fucking scene right there.
Scary stuff. And then the other, like, another legit scary scene is where apparently, like, the witch goes and starts fucking with the Warrens' daughter back at their house. And so, like, the little girl wakes up and she's kind of walking around the house and sees that their little demon room is open. And then she walks in there, and the Bathsheba bitch she's in a chair, like, rocking, and she's holding Annabelle. And then, like, Annabelle, like, fucking turns and looks and shit. And it's just like, oh, that's a scary scene.
Yeah, that's good.
And then, I don't know, while that's going on, they're kind of figuring out that this bitch is about to fucking...
Try to kill.
Yeah, she wants to kill this bitch. So the mom, because they were all staying at the motel, so the mom went back to the house. And then they figure it out. And you get your exorcism scene, which is a pretty good exorcism as far as exorcisms go.
Dude, there was, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but there was a super cool callback when they all went back to the house when they realized it. When the Warrens first realized, like, holy shit, this is the house we got to look at, and they call the cop and the dude to the camera guy. The cop gets a gun, and the camera guy's like, you can't shoot a ghost. But when they all go back to the house, they can't get in the house, and the cop pulls out the gun and shoots the door open.
Fuck
So
yeah.
which I felt was a callback to be like, yeah, bitch, look,
Guns are
it is useful. I mean, and it wasn't like, but
Fuck
yeah.
you, dude.
But it was totally like, what do you, like, that's useless in this situation, but that proved to be a very useful tool in that one.
Absolutely.
Pro guns.
Yes, sir.
Let's all bear arms.
Why
would he bear arms?
Yeah. I thought it was funny. He was trying to clown him. Like, dude, you can't shoot a
Yeah,
ghost.
go get your black light, bitch. Hurry up.
But the exorcism is pretty cool because she's like trying to bite Lorraine or whatever, so they put a sheet over her, and then she's like all like vomiting blood and stuff, and you just see it like on the sheet and shit. Pretty cool stuff, but yeah.
Okay,
That's
it's like-
basically the end. They exercise the bitch.
The dude's like, I've seen like 4 YouTube videos of how to do it. I'm not qualified,
right.
but I think I can pull it off.
Yeah.
I just got to read this book.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I
I've
mildly
seen it a
speak
couple of
Latin.
times.
I got a couple of these bad boys.
They all look at
I'm
it.
boning up on my Latin, guys.
Yeah, they all look at each
70s,
other and they're
bro.
like, fuck
It's
it.
far out.
Yeah. And then so whatever. They save the family. It's all fucking good and well. And then the movie ends again with text that like leaves you like with a creepy feeling.
Right.
It's a quote from Ed Warren that says, "Diabolical forces are formidable. These forces are eternal and they exist today. The fairy tale is true. The devil exists. And for us as people, our very destiny hinges upon which one we elect to follow." So it just kind of leaves you like on a... it starts strong. I'm not so... The second half of that quote
too wild.
Gay, but...
Fairy tale? Fuck you, dude. Fairy tales are fake. What the hell?
Fairy tales are dark as fuck, though.
That's true. But don't they also play the recording?
Oh, yeah. I feel like they do that in all of them,
which is
right?
good because it kind of adds some legitimate side to it.
Yeah, they start showing pictures of the real people.
Right.
They play the real recording and shit.
Which that was another thing when I read like the real thing when they were like, oh, they gave like 27 hours of recording of what happened that night.
Jesus,
and I'm like,
that doesn't make sense.
27 hours. Well, yeah, that's why I'm like, obviously they're bullshitting, you know, because every other time, oh, we forgot to say that Annabelle was there this time.
Twist! My daughter saw Annabelle.
Shyamalan.
This is one of the trivia things that I read. 8 generations of families lived and died in the house before the parents moved in. Andrea parents suggested that some of the spirits from the families never left. Deaths included 2 documented suicides, a poisoning, the rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl, 2 drownings, and the passing of 4 men who froze to death.
They did say it was cold.
Most deaths occurred within the Arnold family, from which Bathsheba Sherman was descended.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's what makes it kind of creepy. Like, do I necessarily believe this story that this movie says that this house got haunted? Maybe not. But that fucking land does have that history, which makes it fucking scary.
Yeah, man.
Another cool trivia thing about that is that the movie contains no sex, nudity, little profanity, tame and mostly bloodless violence.
It has blood, a bit of blood. Okay, go on.
It's like a little. It's brief and brief depiction.
Thrown up into another human's mouth, so that's gross.
Yeah.
COVID and brief depictions of alcohol, no smoking. Yet it received an R rating. This was solely for the scare factor. This movie, like, technically should have been PG-13, but people were like, no, this shit's too scary. you have to rate it R.
Right.
So, I mean, that's pretty
cool.
Fucking badass.
Cool. Taking away from the traditional horror shit with you, we need some titties. Okay? That's slasher shit.
Tits. And also, no cursing.
But, you go into the Mac Daddy of Possession, and they hit you with the fucking lines. Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Yep, that's the
you
one.
You feel me? Come on. That's some good shit. Give us some of that. Give us a little bit of that.
Yeah, but the filmmakers literally set out to make a PG-13 movie and followed the guidelines so that it should have been PG-13, but they were still like, nah.
Yeah, leave that for Insidious.
We're good. That's the thing. I think Insidious is PG-13.
But
it's fucking terrifying. The 19th highest grossing movie of the foul year 2013. The real Bathsheba Sherman was suspected of witchcraft and of killing an infant child, but her name was legally cleared after being found not guilty in a court of law.
She didn't do shit. What the fuck?
She died of natural causes in 1885, not by hanging as the movie portrays. She is buried in Harrisville, Rhode Island.
We could visit Bathsheba?
Yes, you can. But I will not.
Like, what's up, girl? They fucking blamed you for shit you weren't even convicted, dude.
I got you, girl.
OJ's walking around playing golf in Florida. People are still smearing your name.
Yeah.
You weren't even convicted.
Suspicion about her being a witch grew after an infant mysteriously died in her care. The cause of death was
babies die.
The cause of death was found to be a large sewing needle that impaled the base of the infant's skull.
Ooh.
After this, the townspeople began to speculate that she had murdered the child as an offering to the devil, though she was never convicted of any
That's
wrongdoing.
just those fucking communities, man. Those religious communities, baby. They're like, fuck it. Devil.
Fun fact, the composer of this movie, I also believe, composed Insidious. And he plays not only Bathsheba in this movie, but played the demon in Insidious.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
And the girl that plays Cindy, the one that gets fucking, that sleepwalks into the fucking wardrobe, is young Murph.
Oh, really?
From fucking Interstellar.
Oh, very nice. The Conjuring 2, I haven't seen in several years, actually. So I don't have much recollection of it. I do remember liking it. It has a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 80% Rotten Tomatoes, and 81% audience score. Budget of 40 mil, and it grossed 321. Pretty good there.
Fairly successful. And again, with a movie like Conjuring as your kickoff, much like the Insidious franchise as well, you're going to watch number 2 no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go in. It's almost like a challenge, too. Be like, bitch, I was shitting bricks. Go watch it and tell me you're not tripping, right?
Yeah.
You're going to do that probably multiple times.
Well, I remember when I watched the first Conjuring in the movie theater, and I went with my buddy Gabe, and we got fucked up before watching it. And I remember watching that, being excited to watch it because I really liked Insidious and being like, this movie's going to be crazy. But I was pretty drunk, and I was just like, that wasn't that scary. And then when the movie came out, like on Blu-ray or whatever, and I was watching it, like I remember throwing that on in the middle of the night thinking it wasn't like, I remember this movie not being scary. I was watching it sober, and I was like, holy crap, like, this is like super fucking scary. Like, I can't take this shit.
Right.
Ozzy barely watched it for the first time last night at midnight. He waited for the fucking next day and fucking... And you say you weren't creeped out by this movie.
No, I mean, there's the jump scares and all that. Yeah, of course, they got me. And the one, I mean, there is that suspense of like, because they don't happen all the time when you expect them.
Right. Well, yeah,
but no,
they build. Well, there's a lot of tension building to when the scare comes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it scary. You're just waiting for the scare, but you don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen.
It's part of that formula too, right? The movie. It gradually builds up. The things start getting more crazy instead of just going right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
That's where part 2 kind of hits you with that opening scene with the Amityville shit. It's not a scary scene per se, but it's pretty fucking terrifying if you think about it, right? Some dude just walking into your fucking room, especially your family member.
Your brother.
And he just fucking blows your brains out. That's pretty terrifying, It's not a thought that crosses the mind, but now it is.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it because that scene is wild. You know what I mean?
I remember thinking that scene was pretty cheesy when it came out.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Well, it's because
she's walking around like if she's got the gun.
That is good. She looks at the mirror.
Well, I gotta rewatch it, but I remember when I saw it, I was like,
"No, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it." Well, it's also because Ryan Reynolds crushed it. You know what I mean? So he put on a great performance, and
we're fans of the Amityville Horror remake, even though.
But
most
to me,
aren't.
like on the scariness, like Spiral was scarier. Like I haven't seen the other Saws, but I would assume that. Well, because I can see that. Like I said, I'm not religious, so if doors start slamming or whatever in my house, I don't give like that shit won't give me a rise. So that doesn't scare me when I see it in a movie. But like somebody following you for a couple of weeks and understanding your patterns and where you're most vulnerable and where you are, that. It's so possible, and it happens all the time.
Do that. Hit that.
That's scary.
Hit that midnight hitter and watch Saw 1. You'll love it.
Yeah, that's where
you'll fucking love it. Because, dude, Spiral was so far removed from everything. Jesus,
because that wasn't that great of a movie. But to me, it's like, and even some of the traps were really unrealistic. But
they're mostly unrealistic.
But that like somebody watching you again and finding you like, dude, when I leave this studio or whatever, and I'm not whatever, and they say he always turns left. So if you're always at his right,
He always parks
And then-
here,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
just someone comes up behind you, hits you with a fucking bat, you're instantly passed. Like that can happen.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, no, for a while, I was telling my second help at work, I was like, hey, bro, if someone wanted to kill you, it wouldn't be hard. Like, you're here most of the time. You go here after work, and then you go here after work. Like, that rhythm, whether you say you're kind of free will and doing all your type of shit, everyone kind of has a rhythm to their life, right? Everyone can, I can tell who the fuck's going to go where. I know where these workers go. I know, that type of shit. But, yeah, those are a little bit. It's the realism part that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like the whole basis of like detective work. You know,
Yeah.
if you follow people around and they have no fucking clue, and you're building this whole story of them, and which is true. It has to be true. You have the proof that it's true in court.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's so. All of us could be being followed right now, and somebody building a whole story.
There's
But
that.
I don't think that we're gonna go in our fucking.
Yeah.
This witch is gonna pop out of a wardrobe.
Well, look, that's where
all
they
my
hit you.
wardrobes have double locks on.
That's
them,
why
dude.
they hit you with
It's
fucking,
unsafe.
with part 2, and they hit you with a nun. They don't hit you with a witch.
Ooh, part of the research that I did right here. Valak, Bono's favorite character of all time.
Valak is the shit, bro. 2
uh,
syllables. Valak. Fire.
Like Dylan.
So all the scenes featuring the nun were added during reshoots.
Really?
She was not a part of the fucking movie.
Crystalia was the original person, or what?
The fucking whole movie.
So yeah, they were added, replacing the original design of a dark demon with horns. This happened because director James Wan wished to expand the story of Lorraine Warren, having questioned her faith, therefore designed the demon to resemble a holy icon. The original design can be seen at the end of the climax when the demon is defeated.
Could you search Valak? Just type that into your thing, or I'll send you a picture.
Just type in the nun, Valak.
No, go Valak. You'll get some cool shit.
But yeah, that's the best part of the Conjuring 2. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
When the fucking nun comes out, that is a scary image.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Absolutely. And it's really cool too because, okay, yeah, they're kind of in the middle of this thing where they hear about some possession shit going down in London or England, some fucking place across the fucking pond, right? But out of nowhere, Ed is drawing a picture, and he's drawing a picture of this sinister looking fucking nun. And Lorraine had already seen that shit, and her dude is painting it, and she's just like, what the fuck is going on? But she's not gonna say shit because whatever.
She ain't no snitch.
And
dude.
so then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna hang this in my study. This is a fucking Picasso right here. I'm gonna fucking read to this bad boy. And there's a really cool scene where she goes into a study after, like, it was later on in the movie, but it's like the demon Valak starts making its presence known, and you see like its name like on the daughter, on their fucking kitchen and their study. And the daughter sees this fucking thing, and it's at the end of a hallway, and it's looking right at him. Dude, chills, fucking fire, right? So then it walks to the study, meaning like, hey, like it's attached to the Ed character. So Lorraine goes over there, and she enters the study, and, you know, of course the lights go out, but behind her automatically, you see the frame in front, focus behind her, and it's the painting, but it just walked in there, so you don't know if it's the painting or not, and you're just like, hey, wait up, you know? And so then the lights go off, and there's like shutters, and you start seeing the shadow walk to the painting. And as it's turning, it gets to the painting, and it takes its form. Chills, man. Chills, bro. But it's like a sub story to the actual movie.
Yeah.
And then it really, they could have just gone with that, and they would have crushed the fucking
Well,
movie.
what's crazy about that is that it was an afterthought, and that shows you like the genius of James Wan right there. He was like, you know what would be creepier if it was in fucking demonic nun instead. The movie was already shot. He's like, I'm gonna go back and shoot all this nun shit to put that in, and that's the most iconic thing about the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
It got its own movie.
Straight up.
Which kind of sucks.
I
I've
didn't see
never
it. I
fully
didn't
watched
see
it.
it.
I've never fully watched it because I mean, when it comes out, it's scary because that's just a scary looking fucking thing.
Right.
But the movie sucks. And then so we get to the new one, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. The lowest rated out of all of them.
Wow.
6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. 59% on Rotten Tomatoes and 85% Rotten Tomatoes. fucking key thing right here is that James Wan did not direct this movie. This guy named Michael Chavez did it.
Chavez.
Yeah, and he actually directed the Llorona movie.
Oh, that's
So I
why.
guess James Wan liked the way he directed it, and he was just like, fuck it, you can do the next one. We already went through the box office. It made 24. Worldwide, it made almost 58 million. So,
And I mean, that's still pretty good. Again,
Yeah.
what was the budget on the bad boy?
I couldn't
20
find it. They,
Oh,
they
okay.
didn't. They didn't.
Well, let's assume it's like somewhere around the same, right? So like 40 and
20 and 40.
okay, so let's
So,
say 60, right? Let's say it's 60 mil because it's modern day,
It's
right?
probably 40. I don't think they would spend more than 40.
It
on
had it has some pretty. I mean, the part 2 had some pretty crazy CG. This one has some pretty good CG as well. A little bit more practical, more shadow play. But the creepy part about this one in particular, I found was the whole culty approach to it. I mean, there's a lot of people who do try to practice some shit. They try to sell that fucking whole religious shit, kind of back off it. But the whole Satanist thing is a real thing.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is, again, this is no doubt the weakest of the three, in my opinion. I still enjoyed it.
I liked it.
But the thing that I found the most creepy about this movie was that Satanist shit.
Yeah,
Because it's like, that's real. Not so much that like Satan's real, but there is Satanists out there like
Just trying to do shit. Yeah.
like sacrificing things and fucking,
Or have a
people you would
crew-
not want to fucking like come across. I don't think
straight up some Charles Manson shit, whether he
Yeah.
was satanic or not. You have some followers who are down to do some crazy shit because fuck it. You know what I mean? No particular reason. Hey, you love saying, yeah, dude, fuck it. I just want to kill people. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. But that approach to it was actually really cool. I did like that, and it's cool when you meet the actual antagonist, I guess, at the end. But that whole layer area, you can totally see some shit like that.
Oh yeah, that's I mean, Satanism is real. like people, I'm sure, have built temples and altars and do rituals. Like you've seen it a bunch of times in movies. It has to come from somewhere, man. And if it came from the movies, it only inspired people to actually do it.
I think there was something about like a Satanist church trying to sue some people or something. I'm like, God,
You're giving the devil a bad name.
Yeah, bro, how dare you?
Well, the Church of Satan is different than like, and Satanism, like the actual religious part. It's not like that, like sacrificing and stuff. But again, that shit does.
I'm
exist,
sure
sure.
it's
Yeah.
But
happening.
yeah, the Church of Satan is way
They're
more.
tax exempt, so they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
This movie starts off with an exorcism right off the fucking bat.
Right.
Did you recognize the little kid?
No.
The little kid that's possessed in the beginning of the movie?
Mm-mm.
He's the little kid from The Haunting of Hill House. The little blonde kid who grows up to be the junkie.
I need to rewatch that.
Do you not remember that show?
I remember it, but I watched Blind Manor after, so
Yeah, I heard it sucked.
Oh,
so-
did you watch it?
I watched the first episode.
Watch it all, fool. It's pretty
I
good.
was uninterested. It didn't grab me.
Oh my god!
It didn't grab me. Like I
Well,
was on it.
something's
I was
gonna grab you.
Hey,
dude,
don't
okay?
you put that evil on me.
That's that Blind
A
Manor
witch is
shit.
coming after
That's
you.
that Blind Manor
Don't
shit.
you put
dude.
that evil on me. Well, yeah, it was the little kid from that show,
Okay.
which I thought was pretty cool. Straight homage to The Exorcist at the
I
very
saw,
beginning.
yeah, with the stepping out of the taxi and shit.
Yeah, and then he literally stands in front of the house
has
and
the
looks at it
hat.
for a while. He's got the hat. Total. I mean, you could call it a ripoff, homage, whatever.
It's true. Tip of the hat right there.
Yeah. I mean, this one was pretty straightforward to me. Like, fucking, yeah. Little kid gets possessed, and then exorcism goes wrong. Apparently, all that bending that was going on is not CG. That was a Circus Soleil.
That's what I was thinking. Contortionist.
like yeah,
or whatever.
contortionist, exactly. Like a woman, like a really petite woman.
Yeah, they could do that shit.
Flexible.
And they said that the only CG that was used in that scene was to put the little kid's face on the body of the person.
Interesting.
So that's pretty cool. But anyway, he's getting exercised, and it gets out of fucking hand,
Mhm.
And then I don't know, like Lorraine's having like some fucking visions or whatever, and she's all hazy with a headache on the floor. And then the little kid's about to like, well, he does. That part's creepy. He tells Ed, like, I'm going to literally stop your fucking heart right now, you motherfucker. Right. And he jumps on top of him and he's like on his chest and he's just like being scary on top of him. And he has a heart attack and shit. Right. So he was like, oh, damn, this little devil motherfucker's going to fucking kill me. Mm-hmm. And then so one of the protagonists of this movie, the character's name and the real person, his name was Arnie Johnson. Mm-hmm. Weird ass name, played by Rory O'Connor. Rory. That is a weird ass name to spell Rory.
Hey, that is sick.
Real Irish shit right there.
Rory.
So I don't know if is this like his brother or it's not his son, is it? Is it his son?
I think it was his chick's brother. And he was just trying to get, put in work. Right.
So he's seeing this fucking little kid go all crazy and he starts telling him to leave him alone and Ed's all like, hey, dude, don't fucking talk to it.
While he's seizing up, right?
Yeah.
Because he's all fucked up.
He's like, don't fucking speak to it and shit. And he was just like, I don't give a fuck. You're having a heart attack. So he offers up himself. He's like, take me. Leave the little kid alone and take me. Which I believe also happens in The Exorcist, right?
Yeah. At the very end there.
And so the demon leaves him and then goes into Arnie. And then, a month later, fucking, he goes crazy and fucking stabs a motherfucker to death.
I did like that scene too. Not so much the music, but where he starts flipping out and he starts having the visions. And it goes into the red room where all the dog kennels were. And the dogs aren't there. And there's just a red light outside the window. And it's flashing like really slow paced.
Yeah.
And you're expecting for it to pop out in figure, but it doesn't, and it goes black, and then all you see it's eyes, and it's crawling at him. Oh, dude, it's so good. He stabs the fuck out of that dude.
Oh yeah.
It turns out to be the dude that was like the dad or some bullshit. But he stabs the shit out of him. And he just I think 22 times or something.
Fuck.
In real life, he only stabbed him 7 times.
That's it. I mean, I still get him
enough times. Yeah.
But what's funny when I watched it, I actually watched it on HBO Max at midnight when it.
Oh, you didn't theater it, dude?
No. I wanted to, but I was hanging around with my brother that night, and it was. Okay. It hit midnight, and I was like, "Oh fuck, we could watch The Conjuring right now." So we watched it.
You're right. Okay.
And after that scene, because they do say in the movie that he stabbed him like 22 times, and they showed the body, and I was like, that body did not get stabbed 22 times. It was more like he got stabbed like 5 times. Like that was accurate.
Right.
And then homeboy is like fucking just walking down the street all crazy, all possessed, and then
what'd you think about his acting?
I thought he was good.
It was pretty convincing.
I thought it was good. I was worried about it again. The title, I knew James Wan wasn't directing it. I don't know. I was pretty weary of this movie, and then I saw that guy. I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. He's probably gonna fucking suck, but he actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did.
The plot of this movie is that they basically he goes to jail, obviously, because he fucking murdered somebody, and so this is like the first time that they used possession as a fucking defense. Right, they were like, somebody possessed him, so
he didn't do shit, dude. This guy's a good man.
He loves dogs.
He loves dogs. In reality, because at the end of the movie, they make it seem spoilers, because he gets convicted and he goes to jail. He gets sentenced 10 to 20 years in prison, and he only serves 5.
His possession defense didn't work on an American
give
jury.
him a short term.
Yeah,
give
so
him 5 years.
10 to 20 years in prison. He only served 5. In reality, it's because It was ruled first-degree manslaughter, and it was self-defense. Apparently, like they were drunk and they started fighting, and so he got away with. He was defending himself. That's what fucking didn't saved his life.
We were just drunkenly wrestling, and I stabbed him 22 times, bro. It happens.
Again, like in reality, he only stabbed him like 4 or 5 times. So I think if he had probably stabbed him 22 times, then it would have been like, all right, dude.
No way.
That was murder, dog.
And he did it with like a pocket knife or something. But so it seemed like in reality
too much.
In reality, they were having a tussle, and homeboy he just fucking stabbed. He was like, "Oh yeah!"
He was a Boy Scout. He pulled out the fucking.
And it was I don't know what he was in the movie. In the movie, it seemed like it was his wife's brother or something like that.
I'm telling you, I think it was the fucking dad. No.
I thought that it was his wife's brother, but in reality, it was his landlord.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so.
Well, yeah, you gotta. You know what? He's getting out of line. You gotta. Couple.
Trying to raise my fucking rant, motherfucker?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
It's a
Take 22 to the chest, dog. How about that?
I'm running a dog kennel business. Phone trying to make ends meet. You gonna raise the rent?
Anyways.
That shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah. But that's basically it from this movie.
Yeah, the movie wasn't that, engaging. It wasn't too crazy. I did find myself kind of just...
It was different than the first two. It was more of a mystery. Like, they're going from place to place trying to figure out what's going on, and then they find out that it's a witch.
Right.
And it's pretty cool. And, I mean, the ending of this movie also is, like, it's cool, but we've seen it before. It's The Shining. It's The Shining. Fucking Ed Warren gets possessed, and he's running around with a sledgehammer trying to kill Lorraine.
Right.
And yeah, and
shitty sandwich.
Not only has this been done before, it's been done with that same actor in Insidious. In Insidious 2, the exact same thing happens. I was like, dude, you can't come up with something different.
They're like directing him before the scene, and he's like, no. I know what.
I already know what to do, bitch.
Let's go. I already muscle memory. I already know what to do.
There was a cool scene in the middle of the movie where he tries to stab his wife. Spoilers. As right. Sees it as like a dead John Doe type shit.
Oh yeah, that part was creepy.
That was cool.
Yeah, like they're at a morgue, and there's like a really fat, like 7 body there, like decomposing or whatever. It looks all gross, and it gets up and fucking it runs at him. Oh, it's scary. And then he sees it later in the house, and then he's trying to, I think,
fight it off
in his little daydream or whatever. I think he's holding the rosary up, but in reality, he was holding like scissors or a knife or something. Yeah. But,
so the demon was Lorraine trying to be like, hey, chill the fuck out. And he was like, bitch, I'm gonna fucking stab you, dude. But no, they stop him, which I was like, fuck.
Well, yeah, that's about it for this one. I'm going on a little long. I mean, the new one was okay. It's worth it if you're a fan of the first two, which I am. Like, it's a satisfactory sequel, but
it took a while.
Ultimately unnecessary.
2013 to 2016, and then 2021. It's a good wait.
I would recommend it to anybody who's a fan of horror and stuff. But yeah, it's nothing too special about it, especially if I've already seen the other movies. And it's getting. We'll see how this one does, but I think the Conjuring universe is like getting to like the end of it, right?
Right. There was a timeline. I saw the thing online where it's like taking place from The Nun to now, and we're already like in the 80s, 90s. At this point, we're gonna catch up to real time. And what the fuck have we heard of what story of possession or some shit? You know what I mean? That anyone's lived out.
Damn. That's true. Well, people are like, hey, well, you haven't heard of them. You're going to listen.
Well, that's
the thing. They're still happening?
If you know, shoot the link straight to Electro's fucking email with
don't email me no bullshit.
with pictures of Valak. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for joining us again. Once again, thank you to the Salad Bites studio for recording another episode. Make sure to check out all the other fucking programs under the umbrella. And follow us on social media. You already know the deal. And we'll talk to you. We'll see you guys. We'll fucking do another episode, man. Later, guys.
All right.
Fuck.
Sayonara, Sammy.
The Electro and Bono Movie Power